Hey everybody, Neil Thompson, founder of Teach the Geek here. I work with technical professionals so they can present more effectively, especially in front of non-technical audiences. And you can learn more about that at teachthegeek.com. Again, that's teachthegeek.com. And as always, remember to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel, as every bit helps. A few weeks ago, I was reading a post on LinkedIn on whether you should end a presentation with questions, with Q&A. And the prevailing opinion was that you shouldn't. But when I thought about why you shouldn't, does that make sense for a technical presentation? And I would argue the answer is no, it doesn't. When it comes to technical presentations, the main goal of them is to impart information to the people, but you certainly don't want to just speak a whole bunch of data and think that the data speaks for itself. You definitely want to impart storytelling or use storytelling in your presentation to make the data come alive, and at least to help make the data more engaging to the people who are in the audience, especially if you're speaking to a non-technical audience. But because you're speaking to a non-technical audience, they may very likely have questions about your presentation. After all, they don't have the same level of expertise as you, and you can do your best job of trying to meet them where they are. But I mean, there's a whole lot of assumptions you often have to make when it comes to these presentations. So there are things you may miss, and it'd be rather arrogant to think that there aren't things that you're going to miss. So you likely will have questions. So now, when do you answer those questions? Well, you certainly could answer them during the presentation. People can raise their hand and ask you questions during your presentation. The risk you run there is that you don't get through all the material that you had planned to present to the people. And especially if you're just starting off giving technical presentations, it may throw you off when people ask you questions. You may spend a whole lot more time answering it than you thought you would. And the next thing you know, you're scrambling to finish your presentation to get through the rest of it. So you may think, let's just leave the question and answer part till the end. I suppose one caveat with our risk of that is the people who had questions early on may have forgotten what those questions were and then don't ask those questions, and then those questions don't end up getting answered. But I think that's a risk that you should be willing to take, especially if you are new to giving technical presentations. So I would leave the questions and answer period till the end. It's not necessary, I don't think, to have any sort of splashy ending for a technical presentation, because the purpose of a technical presentation is different than, say, a keynote presentation or just a presentation meant to elicit emotion from people. Technical presentations are meant to impart information. So it's important for the people in the audience to get their questions answered, whether it's during the presentation or at the end of the presentation. I suppose is personal preference, but I would suggest leaving it till the end, especially if you're new, especially if you find that you might get thrown off when people ask questions and then you're scrambling at the end to finish your presentation. Leave it till the end. Answer the questions to the best of your ability, and then you're done. Get out of there. So I think my advice is specifically for technical presentations. Of course, if you disagree, please leave a note or a comment in the comment section. But just to recap, when it comes to technical presentations, I am for leaving the Q&A part till the end. People in the audience are likely going to have questions. You don't want to necessarily answer them during the presentation if you think that might throw you off. And then you want to make sure that you have ample enough time to answer those questions at the end. You don't need a splashy end necessarily of a technical presentation. What you need to do is answer the questions that people have. Hopefully that's been helpful. Again, my name is Neil Thompson. I am the founder of Teach the Geek. I work with technical professionals so they can present more effectively, especially in front of non-technical audiences. And you can learn more about that at teachthegeek.com. Again, that's teachthegeek.com. And as always, remember to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel, as every bit helps. Thanks. Have a great day.